Okay, welcome back friends. I got some more evidence for you. So here you see some kind of brick wall. All scorched up bricks, mangled, heat damaged. You can still see the bricks. In here you see C14, carbon 14, stains, cooked out, and of course in the back everything melted down. But to the right you still see this brick wall in here with some kind of archway at the bottom, right? So they will tell you this is a natural formation, but it's in fact a melted building. Just look here. How can this be a melted building when you see a brick wall in between here? Right? This is a pocket of survival. It managed to survive somehow, and the rest of the building just melted around it, and it got stuck in here. And here you see a little twisted cubert columns forming from the melted bricks, doing magic tricks. This is something I have explained in my second documentary, so if you don't know this phenomena, you need to see the documentary first. So it's all melted red bricks, X-factored. This is not a natural formation. There was no volcanoes or tectonic plates or whatever they try to explain to us. That's not what happened. It's all melted buildings. And here you can still see the brick lines everywhere. Some of them are cooked into block lines when they melt together and you have heat expansion. So this is all melted buildings. So you can see here, block lines, big blocks, red bricks all over the place. Another pocket of survival. This used to be a bridge between two buildings, and the buildings had the most electrical current through them. They got the most hot and they melted. This bridge, of course, all turned into blocks, but it's still here. Wasn't as much electricity through this one, and you can see it goes into the melt here. You got an archway down here. You wouldn't need that for if you built it like this, but it wasn't built like it. You can see the heat damage. You can see hair swelling, popping out, rocking up, blocking up. Pocket of survival here. Here from a little different angle, not the sharpest photo, but this was the one I found. You can see it goes into the melt, the walkway here, and it just goes up. It just goes up and up, not built like this. It goes into the melt here. They call this a mountain, but in reality it's a melted building. You can see how it goes into it. You see an archway here. You would never need to build an archway here if you built it like this. So, you know, it used to be something more, but it's all melted now. Here, all rocked up. Here it is again. You can see remains goes all the way down here even. Rubble. Here, mangled bricks. Goes up here. And of course up here. Pocket of survival here. And here we get some pockets of survival as well. In ruins. And in the back you see everything cooked into huge block lines. All scorched. Let's see what we can find in this one. So you see pockets of survival all over the place. You see an archway here filled out with rubble. You see the bottom starting to get swollen. Heat expanded here. All rubble. Oh, look here. See the block lines, brick lines. Going all the way across here. Heat expansion. And here as well. Starting to melt down. And flow away. Still see block lines in here. Melting. Could have been an archway here. It's all part of the building. More melt. All ruins now. Never built like it, especially you see this part here. It's all melted and here. And here you see this pocket of survival. You see the bricks here, going down here and then up again. Nobody built like this. They will tell you that some primitive people came with donkeys and transported up all these bricks to build here. But they are deceptive, they are lying to you, so this is all a part of this whole building, but this little section survived, and we call it a pocket of survival. Here is another one. It's the same deal, nobody built it like this. You can see how it's all cooked out and scorched. It got very, very, very hot and fried. This is the only little thing that survived, and the rest of the buildings are just, you know, very, very destroyed here. Looking for apertures. Can sometimes see them in these remains. Not always. Melt flood at the bottom, melting down. All this brick flood here. Here again, heat from the bottom, climbing up the wall, starting to mangle the building. You got some archway here, climbing up further over here. This tower remains, and here everything is completely destroyed. All mangled from the bottom up. Carbon 14 stains in here. See these stairs going down into nothing. archway down here. Rubble, swelling, heat expansion. Brick flood coming down. Heat expansion and swelling climbing up, damaging the building. Very cooked out. See what happened to the red bricks, what they look like now. And brick ash in the background. They all turn into ash here, the bigger buildings. As you can see here again, most of the times you have heat from the bottom climbing up, and the event stopped in many cases where it left this little pocket of survival on the very top. This is just the very top of the building sticking up. The rest is here and below, way down below. So yeah, you see the melt. It's all a melted building. Here, all rocked up. You still see bricks in here. Looks like they turn into bigger red blocks. Here is a brick. So you gotta ask yourself, what are these bricks doing in here? You see small bits of brick rubble in here still, but most of it is completely destroyed. And here, this big structure full of red bricks still intact. Many of them cooked out and many of them balloon rocked and heat expanded. Just look, it's all destroyed. Was never built like this. Here too, lots of bricks left. Little blurry when I zoom too much, hopefully you can see it, but you can see bricks in here, balloon rocks, and how the bottom of this structure is all mangled now, destroyed. Look what it turned into. And here as well, see here, they call it a mountain now. It's all melted buildings. You will never build it on the edge here, like this. And how did the donkeys get all the bricks up here to do this? All this big, how did they get this, get it up here? They didn't do it. Never built like this, it's just the remains of melted buildings. See the swelling and heat expansion, how destroyed the building became as it's melting down. This is heat damaged. And here you see a bunch of the bricks are still in good condition, while the rest turned into this what they call rocks. Bunch of bricks up here as well, but the whole structure is still very cooked out. Never built like this. It's all been heat damaged. See remains of something here, some statue thing in the melt. Here as well, more bricks in this mess. You see the transition here? It's rocks here churning together, and then here they're all melting together into the hole, into a huge chunk here, which they call a mountain in geology. Yeah, they're lying. So pocket of survival. Cooked out buildings. Here, look at the melt. This here is all the melt flood melting down here. And the grass can grow on it. See here, it goes into the melt. More stuff up here. One at the very top, and the rest looks like this. That's the remains after this event. A little pocket of survival here, and the rest is just very destroyed. See the huge melt and damage here. Altered states of matter became viscous and liquid and started to flow down, and then we had densification. It turned back hard. It turned hard again, and now this is what we have. They call it a mountain. Just a melted building. See what happened to the red bricks. See how damaged it is. Cooked out. Remains here. More here. See the angle of everything. The flow coming down. Destroying. It's the destroyed buildings. Huge ones flow down. You can see the flow lines. It's all flowing, melting. Brick flood. And here you see some structure very melted. You can still see the blocks through here. Everything else is rock curtained over. And then this structure here, of course, also very damaged. Turned into blocks. Lots of it melted into one chunk around here, all over the place. You can still see columns in here. See the melt down here. All this, you see viscous holes flowing down, melting. This is all a melted building. It's not carved. It's built and then melted. And there is more stuff all the way to the left here. But we can't really see if I zoom, like you see. Brick ash coming down. Pocket of survival here. The rest just looks like this. That's the remains of the building. This is what we have left. Only a little bit here and this. Another one here. This one got a huge crack in it even. Carbon 14 scavengers growing on the top of it here. Block lines. This is all tilted. It's on an angle now, sinking into the melt. This is the area. Oh, we saw this. Okay, sorry. Sometimes it makes duplicates. I don't know why. Sorry for that. So here you got this structure here. into the melt. This is all swelling here, starting to eat up the building. Going all the way down, huge archway here at the bottom, all filled out with this melted mess. Goes in here, you see apertures. You can see faint remains of structure in here, it looks like. In here, more apertures. There is something in here. Huge rock curtain coming down. Let's see what we find. Okay. Pocket of survival here. And the rest looks like this. You can see here, you know, the color of this and this is the same. Because it is the same material. This is all cooked out, and this is all cooked out. Therefore it has the same color. It's all the same. Only this little section here survived. And here you got this wall ruins still intact, cooked out bricks again. You see more going into the melt here. All the way up here, pockets of survival. And also up here, impossible to build. More all the way up here. Damaged bricks. And the rest is all melted down and completely devastated. Here you see remains cooked into blocks. You see this goes into the melt here. More apertures at the top. You see bricks still hanging here off the side here. It's all fused into the melt. Carbon 14. Rocked up. Melting down. Apertures at the bottom. All mangled. So you have this little pocket of survival here. You can see something happened here. Got pulled out. Or heat expansion from behind, and something happened with the angle here. It goes towards us here. Windows swollen closed or swollen shut by heat expansion. And here it is again. And you can see in this area that there is something going on, because it goes out here a little bit. You see it on the angle here. So nobody ever built like this. It's all melted. You can see scorching here. And again you can see the similarities in color here. This and this around it here. That's because of this here. Used to be like this. It's the same material, just altered states of matter is the case that was going on here. It's all this is all melted buildings. And you got more pocket of survival up here as well. On this side all heat expanded. swollen and mangled here. Still separate blocks here, or bricks. See, it's all melted building. And here again you see more melted red brick buildings, which they of course again will tell you are carved or chiseled into this rock formation here. That's not what's going on. This is all melted buildings. This is the concrete mold facades they had, all melted, but you can still see faint remains of it. And you would never, as a primitive caveman, you would never come here and carve this design here just for nothing. You would be more worried about trying to survive and you know, stuff like that. You wouldn't do this. And it's impossible as well. You can't carve or chisel into here with bronze tools and a hammer. You just can't. It's been tested. It's impossible. The difference in hardness is too big, so you can't. See brick lines in here still. Apertures. All melted buildings. Another pocket of survival. You can see the structure here is going into the rock curtain here. All this is melting down here from above, starting to cover the building, and you can see it already covered a big portion of it. See here too at the corner. So already burying it. This building here goes way in here into the melt. Slightly different angle, little better to see here. You see this huge melt, high viscosity, melting down and covering the building here. Swollen heat expansion. This is a massive rock curtain. See more stuff here. More cooked out bricks, very fried. Got pocket of survival here and at the very top to the left. But what you also have is this wall going here and into, just fades away into the melt here. You can see it goes all the way up. And then you have a wall still standing here. Just remains. And something here as well. Very cooked out. Here turn into big blocks. All mangled, very cooked. Heat damaged buildings. You can see it by the color. Scorching. Classic example of heat from below, climbing up. You see here on the wall, swelling here, more swelling, melting down. You see structure down here as well. Windows swollen shut. Something's going on. It's bulging out here, this brick wall. It's a big bulge on it. Heat expansion. And this one just looks like this. That's the remains. Got two cooked and now it's beyond recognition here. Goes into the melt. Here, got bricks down here as well. Very cooked out. How did I get the bricks up here with their donkeys to build here? And why would you build up here? Another bridge. I would have been a little bit skeptical. Pocket of survival. All the bricks rocked up here. Mangled heat expansion. And you see this structure still intact. You see an archway down here for no reason. It's all filled out by the melt from within here, within the building. Same thing here and here. Filled out arches. Irrigation from the building still running here, pumping out water. Very drinkable water, by the way. And another one coming over here. They had bridges everywhere, from all buildings to everything, yeah. So now the car traffic is going through here. Through the melted building. Here are the filled out archways, more close up, but here this is pretty interesting because you have a door and a window. And the only thing I know that has doors and windows are buildings. Also remains a bunch of archways here. Didn't collapse during the melt, so you can still, you know, put a road and drive cars through here. This is not a natural formation. And of course it's not carved or chiseled either. This is just remains of a melted building, which they try to trick you to make you believe it's a mountain. A little pocket in here, just chilling, surrounded by melt. More stuff down here. Huge balloon rock here. Remains of some kind of aperture up here. All melted. Another example of building here being caught by the rock curtain here. All of this melting down, starting to bury the building. Swelling here, cooked out, turned into blocks, mortar squeezed out, cooked out. It's all so dry now. Here too, all heat damaged. plant life can live here. Look at the melt. Lots of carbon-14 in here still. Aperture. Balloon rocking here. Balloon swelling. You see the bricks here. They're still pretty square here to the left, but then when you go this way now they're all rocked up here, turned into rocks. And here they're churning together. You see the transition here. Bricks, rock, churning. And now it's, you know, just a melt coming down. And that's what they call a mountain. And you still see the apertures in the building. Huge melt coming down. Layers of melt. Another building being caught by the rock curtain here. It goes into it. And it's getting buried from above. See this one? The roof just going into it. All this huge rock curtain coming down, covering the building. See here, goes into it. Nobody built like it. You see heat expansion and swelling here at the bottom. All the bricks here turn into blocks, cooked out. See the melt and the stains. Here it is from above. Not the best photo, but you can still see, and that's what matters. You see an apertures going in here, rock curtain coming down here and burying the whole building. But we had densification before it was completely buried, and you can still see it. Very, very cooked out. Very cooked out. Nobody built like this. And of course they put a cross on it and said it was built thousands of years ago for religious purposes. You know, they gotta make up lies to explain away all this stuff that we can find, right? It's all a melted building. This is the only section that survived. See here. Here you can see brick lines still in there, pancake brick lines, and you see openings, apertures going into here, into the melted building. It's all a melted building. Just look around it here. What happened to it? Look what happened to this one. Very, very melted. And this one turned into a... Here you can see the carbon-14 rich brick ash that it turned into. This is what they call dirt in geology. But it's just C14 rich brick ash. That's all it is. And of course the plants, they love it, as you can see. They like it. Another pocket of survival up all the way here. How do you get up here? To build here. Got the rock curtain covering the building. Got more here as well. And something here, a buried archway or something. Apertures, block lines. And more rock curtain structure here. You see the roof going into it here. This one too being buried from above. Here too. All this melting down, covering the building. Heat damage from below as well. Rock curtained, this building goes into it here. But more heat damage at the bottom. Archways all the way down here at the flood waters. So that was it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe button. Please share and pass around with other open-minded people out there that you know. Share it, pass it around on social media if you can, to your friends and family. And as always, be good, be nice, be kind, take care of yourself and stay safe. And we will talk again in the next one. Goodbye for now.